prestige than any other Sunday noon game might?
Yeah, it's pretty cliche to say, but we've kind of taken the approach that it's our most important game, it's our biggest game, because it's the next game on our schedule, and that's the approach that we've taken each and every week. That question was asked when we went to LA as well. You're playing against a really good football team in prime time, and the same answer was given that's our most important game because it's the next game on our schedule. And I think if you don't take that approach each and every week in this league, you're not doing the other team justice. Yeah, it is a big game. This is a team that we'll be battling for come the late December for a playoff spot. So it's definitely a game that we need to win.
Kyle, everyone talks about momentum, kind of helping a team. But what can be said about the young guys that are forced to step up when it's next man up and do well? What can that do to the rest of the team? How's that changed you guys?
It's been huge. Obviously we've dealt with a number of things here over the last month and a half, and it seems like every guy that's gotten an opportunity, whether it's offense or defense, has stepped up and made big plays. I can speak for the offense, and Adam gets dinged up, and Aldrich comes in on a 4th down and scores a touchdown on 4th and 8. So it's stuff like that where we have guys who may not get a ton of work, a ton of reps throughout the course of the week, but then their number's called on Sunday and they make big plays. So that's been huge for our success over the last couple weeks.
Hey, Kyle, what do you just kind of remember about Diggs' miracle catch? Where you were at the time, what you were thinking?
Yeah, I was on the field, kind of near him. I remember seeing him catch the ball, hoping that he would get out of bounds. And then when he didn't go out of bounds and turned and ran for a touchdown, the natural instincts, the wherewithal to keep his balance and turn and run for a touchdown. I joked around last week with the NBC crew that me being such a smart football player, all I would have been thinking about is get out of bounds, and probably ran out of bounds immediately. But, he had the wherewithal to put his hand down and stay in bounds and run for a touchdown. So I'm glad he did that.
How much more recognizable is he now nationally? He's got the TV commercial on Geico.
Yeah, apparently he's got like the stickiest hands ever. So that's good. I'm happy for him.
What's the balance of being sick about being asked about it and then also focusing on this year, this tournament?
Oh, it would have been a lot worse had we been getting asked about it and we didn't win the game. So, I can't imagine how they're feeling down there being there. I'm sure they're getting asked about it just as much as we are, and they were on the other side of it. So, at least we're being asked about it, and, we won the game and we were on the right side.
Did you see Casey's breakdown of it this summer?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, he did. I guess for a group of season ticket holders, he went through the whole thing. It was pretty
Yeah.
film breakdown. When you talk to him about that play afterwards, what's kind of your recollection of just how he set that whole thing?
Oh, the biggest thing was just everyone, it's obviously been titled a miracle because of the way the play ended up playing out. We didn't need a miracle to win the game. We had a play that we have called hundreds of times that, if executed properly, would give us a chunk of yards to then execute a field goal and win the game. So I remember Case came into the huddle. He just looked at Stefan and Jarius and said, one of you guys are going to get a chance here to make a play, and let's go do it. And the rest is history.
If Jarius had caught it, would he have a Geico commercial?
Yeah, again, I don't know. He may have ran out of bounds like I would have, so who knows?
Hey, Kyle, the Saints defense, do you feel like you know this group a little bit better than you would any other non-divisional opponents? It's the third time you're facing them.
Yeah, there's obviously new year, new faces. They've got guys over there. The first-round pick is playing at a really, really high level. Dave Morgan's buddy from UTSA. Couple new safeties. Obviously, Kurt Coleman's a guy that we're familiar with, played with here, played against him in Carolina last year. Manti, obviously, a guy that I played against in college. Couple guys that played against the first game, but then were hurt for the second game. So, it's if you think you know this defense because you played against them twice, there's so many new faces, changing parts, that if you don't do your due diligence and study as much as you would any other opponent, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice.
Did you see some opportunity there, or they're allowing almost 30 points a game?
Well, you look at this defense and they're number 1 in the NFL against the run. They've lost one game this year, and it was coincidentally the only game they gave up 100 yards rushing. So they're very, very stout against the run. Their offense is scoring a ton of points, so they've been in some shootouts. But that's still a very, very good defense.
A number of your big runs the past couple of weeks have come out of 12 personnel. So how much pride are the tight ends taking in blocking for some of those chunk plays?
Yeah, we just try to do our part. A lot of times we're at the point of attack, and I mentioned a couple weeks ago, until you're in that room, you don't really realize, because you may be on the backside of a play, but that play is designed to come right back, like Latavius' first touchdown last week. So we take pride in it, but that's our job. If we weren't doing our job, I'd hear about it on Monday from Zim, and that's not what I want to be doing. So we just try to do everything we can in the run game. Well, we really haven't been stopped since we've been running the ball with a lead. Just look at the personnel that they have. They have fast, physical linebackers. Their front seven, obviously everyone knows how good of a player Cameron is. He's a guy that from here, Dad played here. We know a bunch about him, but he's playing at a really, really high level right now, and a lot of those guys get credit for rushing the passer, and he's just as good against the run as he is rushing the passer.
You talk about Zim kind of keeping everything in their place, but when you speak to Adam's humility, that comes just from himself.
Yeah.
Some players could really kind of buy into that. What is different about Adam in terms of keeping that level-headedness?
The only thing that I've really noticed, he's got a much more expensive backpack now. So, he used to have kind of a cheap backpack, but now he's got a nice Louis Vuitton backpack. But Adam's just a guy that comes to work every day with the same mindset that he's had since he came here during rookie minicamp, trying to prove himself. And I feel like at this point, I don't know that he'll ever feel like he's getting the respect that he deserves. He'll just always have that chip on his shoulder, and each and every week he tries to go out and prove the opposing defense wrong and the rest of the country wrong.
Kyle, Adam talked about how Teddy Bridgewater affected his career. How was that for you, and how was he able to impact the team even though he wasn't playing last year?
Oh, well, Teddy's a guy that came in here as a first-round pick, and everyone knows how good of a guy Teddy was around the locker room as a leader of our offense, took us to the playoffs. But being a teammate of Teddy's when he went through what he went through and seeing the way that he handled the adversity that he went through, I think he impacted our team more in the 2 years that he was battling that catastrophic knee injury than he did maybe as the actual starting quarterback of our team, just because of the mindset and the mentality that he took every single day attacking his rehab. And there was never a doubt in his mind that he was going to get back out on the field. And I think that all kind of culminated when he went in the game against the Bengals last year, and you just saw the reaction from not only the guys on our sideline, but from the crowd as well.
A lot of people have gone through injury rehab, knee rehab, but what is it about the way Teddy handled it that made it so special? Seems to really have impacted a lot.
Yeah, I think it was just the significance of the knee injury. The prognosis initially of how much of an uphill battle that he had to get back to where he was before the injury. A lot of guys attack ACL rehabs and do an unbelievable job, but Teddy had a whole lot going on outside of that. So for him to just come every single day with a mindset to get better without really any light at the end of the tunnel was pretty special to watch.
Kyle, how did your routine change for a night game like this?
Well, you try to keep your routine as similar as you can. Obviously, we'll be in the hotel a little bit longer than normal. On a noon game, you're up and out of the hotel by 8:30, 8:45, and now we probably won't leave till about 4:30. So a little bit more time around the hotel in the afternoon, but You still try to keep your normal routine as close as you can to any other night game. You know, we played at night in LA, and we were in the hotel most of that day as well. So as long as you develop a routine, stick to it.
Is it a challenge to use the time effectively when you have?
No, it's great for me. You know, I'm not at home taking care of 2 kids, and I get to just relax and sit in the hotel and really just focus on the game that night.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, you
Thanks
bet.
a lot.